After waiting for what feels like ages, we finally got our first true look at Glitch's next show, the Gaslight District. The trailer came out last Friday, and despite us not even having the full pilot yet, I'd already say the wait was well worth it. In this video, I'll be taking a closer look at the trailer to try and piece together what the hell is happening here, as well as what the plot could be, because it's a lot. Now, I won't be going over every little thing in the trailer, mostly just the significant things that could lead us to figuring out what the plot is, but you know what, I think we're still gonna have fun nonetheless. This is just a crazy trailer. It went by so fast, like I had to go frame by frame to try and look at every little detail, and you know, that's typically how things go with glitch trailers. I'm winging it for the most part, but yeah, I'm already super invested in this show and plan on making tons of content about it, both leading up to and after the release of the pilot. So if you're looking forward to that, or just love indie animation in general, please consider subscribing to the channel and hitting that bell to help us reach 30,000 subscribers before the end of the year. According to Glitch, the Gaslight District is a gothic crime drama about a family of undead gangsters trying to find their place after the end of the world. The show's creator, Nick Zopko, also known as Part-Time Seeker, has stated that the inhabitants of the Gaslight District have been cursed by God and abandoned, left to rot, fester, scab, and peel for all of eternity. You know, for taking place during the apocalypse, they're not doing too bad for themselves. The main cast of the series includes Melancholy Hill, named after the Gorilla song, her father Ken the Butcher, Ken's son Breadhead, who we really don't know much about. I'm assuming he's some sort of science experiment that Ken did. I don't know, he is a butcher after all. And then we also have Ken's older brother, Mud. They're an undead crime family known as the Smiling Dead. Now, moving on to the trailer itself, the first thing that immediately catches your attention is the animation style. It feels like a homage to classic Tim Burton films like The Nightmare Before Christmas, as well as films like Coraline. It also gives me heavy Flapjack vibes. Although the series is entirely 3D animated, it gives an almost clay/stop motion look that feels very unique, and honestly, if you showed someone this trailer with zero context, I wouldn't doubt them thinking that it was either the next project from Tim Burton or the next project from Laika. It looks that good. It looks too good to be indie animation. Now, the first characters we're actually introduced to in the trailer are these strange skeleton creatures, and from the different shots we see of them in the trailer, these are likely to be our main background characters, with them dressing up in different outfits to give them a bit more personality, or, you know, depending on the occasion, like maybe there's a bartender, or, you know, we see one dressed up as a woman here. But yeah, just give them tons of personality. I would love that. Also, why do some of them have pupils? I have no idea. These bone boys most likely serve some sort of importance to the plot, like the one wearing this stylish wig. At first, I thought maybe he was good because he's seen in the picture with the Smiling Dead at the end of the trailer, but now I'm not so sure, as when I went to analyze the trailer further, it clearly shows him fighting against the Smiling Dead, firing his gun at Mel before cutting to the next shot of him getting shot in the head. I'm assuming by Mel, yet he still continues to fight on. We also see Mel holding a knife up to his throat, and judging by the blood, which is purple for some reason, this scene takes place after he was already shot. I wouldn't be surprised if he was a part of some sort of rival gang. Well, whatever the case, he isn't looking too good by the end of the trailer. Also, the car is a face. This show is already an 11 out of 10. Now, while this guy may be a threat in the pilot, he's far from the only danger. These humanoid flies are seemingly the physical representation of demons, or so I assume. When going to the Prophecy website and typing in demons, it responds with litterbugs. And Nick Zopko himself released a piece of artwork featuring a fly with some of the world's language that translates to litterbug. Yeah, this show seems to have a lot of religious undertones to it, as we seem to also have the physical representation of angels in the form of these crows, which the Prophecy website refers to as starving crows. By the way, other bits of text have been translated. The body who bears the mark of the hand shall suffer injury, shall feel pain, shall witness death. You mean like the hand marks we see on the skeleton guys? Maybe these are the creatures that God cursed with immortality, as that seems to be a big part of the plot. Along with this egg, this is the egg of an angel, with the prophesized human being born from it every 10,000 years. This human has the power to destroy the entire Gaslight District. Here, Mel is seen with the egg falling down a huge flight of stairs, and that giant bird creature seems to be one of the guardians of the egg. I wouldn't be surprised if this is the stairway to heaven. At one point in the trailer, we do see Mel with wings crushing a crow in a place filled with white, which if I had to guess, is probably heaven. And maybe the reason for her having wings has something to do with the egg. There's always the possibility that I'm wrong, but considering how important the egg is, being the literal MacGuffin of the series, it would make a lot of sense. Now we know that the human inside the egg has the power to destroy the Gaslight District, so maybe the plot revolves around the Smiling Dead trying to destroy the egg before it hatches. But there's always the possibility that Mel is trying to protect the egg, maybe without the knowing of the other members of the crew. She clearly has some questions about the validity of everything, as she even put together an entire conspiracy board. Remember, the word gaslight is in the title, so maybe Mel doesn't believe the narrative about the egg holding some unknown power and thinks there's more going on with the Gaslight District itself. Maybe everyone wants to get a hold of this egg, explaining this character's motives. Real quick, let's go back to the original teaser from November 2022. The teaser includes flashing text that claims you are being paranoid, everything is fine, and that the world hasn't ended. What if the island's inhabitants have actually been gaslit into thinking that everything is fine and that the world indeed hasn't ended? Maybe they're trying to stop Mel from destroying the egg, or for whatever reason they want to destroy it themselves. Who knows? Side note, I wonder if we'll get to explore both heaven and hell, as Mel is seen in a place filled with white, while Ken is in a place covered in red, throwing his butcher's knife at a new character which we've come to know as Temperance. There's also a more angelic looking variant known as Diligence. Can you guess who voices him? Bro's collecting the indie animation Infinity Stones. These two characters look to be crucial to the plot. Diligence carries crosses on him while wearing something similar to a police hat, so he could definitely be some sort of authority figure in heaven, maybe trying to stop Mel from infiltrating the kingdom of God. I mean, she is a zombie, and maybe she was one of the people cursed by God, but it seems like she also has tons of questions about what is going on. But I feel like these two characters are very important. Temperance, on the other hand, looks completely different, looking more like an armored soldier than anything. One last thing I'd like to bring up is that there's also an additional piece of text along with a QR code that can only be found if you slow down the trailer at 1 minute and 7 seconds as soon as the gunshot fires, revealing the release date. Now, the QR code, I thought at first led to something, interesting, more special, but nope, it just leads to the Prophecy website that gives you like an alternative way of watching the trailer. But the most important thing here is the text, which translates to "What's left of the world lives in the Gaslight District. Its population is less than 10,000. Well, that's a little bit of lore right there. We also get to see a tiny little image, which I assume is the Gaslight District itself. We do know that the Gaslight District is an island pulled from the sea. And, even at the trailer here, I'm assuming this is deep below the surface where the Gaslight District is. Okay, that was a lot to take in, and I probably didn't cover even half of it. There's just so much about the series. I just wanted to make a brief video kind of just gathering my thoughts. Again, I'm sorry if this video is kind of all over the place, but I hope you all still enjoyed it. I have more Gaslight District videos in the works, as well as some other content unrelated to it, the Gaslight Districts, which will be coming out very soon. But I hope you all enjoyed this video, and I hope you all are excited for the Gaslight District. Once again, if you enjoy my content and want to stay up to date on all the latest news from Glitch and just indie animation as a whole, please consider subscribing and hitting that notification bell. It truly helps out a lot. I really want to try and hit 30K by the end of the year. I know it's possible with the support from you guys, so thank you all so much. And until next time, guys, this is Inferno signing off.